Hey guys, I just wanted to tell you we're going to do the Quran next. But what I wanted to do now is there's a lot of disinformation out there about people who are scared of the Bible in the sense that they fear hell, in the sense that they're scared of Lucifer and Satan. It's all nonsense and it's all astrology. And we're going to go into that as everything else is astrology. So the first sign we're going to do is this one. Okay, whenever you see someone doing this, now they would say that this is a 6, 6, 6, right? Also, in the news, they recently said that this is supposed to be white power, which is idiotic. Okay, this is stupid, but this is how they signal to one another. What does this represent? Okay, they're supposed to say that this is 666. Now, 666 is the name of the beast. It's the sign of man. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. That's basically what it is. Okay, and all these signs that I'm going to show you come from peaceful places, and their initial, no matter how much they try to invert and pervert it, they can't do that. Okay, so this, what happens when you do these signs that you see these celebrities doing, you just invert it, and suddenly it becomes the lotus position, the Om position when you're meditating. The interesting thing about this too is that what happens is the reason you do this when you meditate is because this makes a nerve connection, okay, that ends up healing you. Okay, so when you do this, it's actually it's for healing purposes, okay? So that's basically that sign. Now, covering one eye, as I've mentioned in the previous video, okay? This goes back to the Eye of Horus. Whenever you see this, or you see someone like this, or you see, sometimes they do this, mostly this. Some people will say it's the Illuminati hand symbol for the all-seeing eye on the dollar or whatever. They'll say that it is just basically watching you. It's the Illuminati eye. It's got the eye on everything. But what happens is when you do this, it's actually going back to the Eye of Horus. Now, the Eye of Horus is basically when you take a sagittal cut of the human brain and you open it up, if you look in the middle of the brain, you'll see the pineal gland and you'll see an eyebrow ridge above it, like this. You'll see the eye and then the brow ridge. That's the corpus callosum. That's the pineal gland. What does the pineal gland do? It does 2 things. It releases melatonin when the sun goes down. Okay, it releases melatonin when the sun goes down so that you can start to fall asleep. We've evolved that way, that when the sun goes down, that's when we go to sleep. When the sun comes up, that's when we're awake. So there's that. And the other thing it does is it releases a chemical called dimethyltryptamine, or DMT, into your brain. And it does it twice in your life. Well, it does it many times in your life, but it does it on 2 occasions in your life. The first time is when you are sleeping, and it helps give you your dreams. Okay, so when you're in a heavy REM sleep, okay, DMT is pouring into your body that causes you to dream. The other time is that right as your body is about to die, right as your body is shutting down as you're dying, it floods your body with it, which prepares you for your next dimension, your next life, your passage into continued learning as a soul. Okay, so that's what it is. So that's not anything to be scared of either. The other thing is this one. When Jay-Z does this, sometimes he does this to the eye. Okay, this, okay, Rock Nation or whatever, the Illuminati hand symbol, the diamond, okay, this is actually an ancient Jewish blessing. Okay, so this isn't evil. Okay, you ever seen this? You ever seen Spock doing this? Okay, you ever see Spock doing this? What you do is you do this, and then you connect it. Okay, and when you do this, this is the ancient Kohanim, the ancient Jewish benediction. It was a blessing. This is how you bless your congregation. The ancient Jews would do this. Okay, so that's what it is. This is nothing more than this. Okay, so that's where it comes back from. So there's nothing to be scared of there either. Okay. Now, what about this? You'll see the devil horns. You'll see, President Bush doing this. You'll see all the presidents doing this. I mean, to be fair, George Bush's daughter went to the University of Texas, and this is the sign for them, the Longhorns, like this. But whenever you see this, they say that it's devil worship. They're worshiping the devil. They couldn't be further from the truth. If you've ever met a little Italian woman that does this, this is it's a blessing to you. Okay, so the Apana Mudra, it's for purification, and it purifies the individual physically from toxins and sheds negative energies that they might be holding. So you're seeing the little Italian woman doing this. You also have the Italian horn. It's in the Italian community. It's important to give somebody horns because it protects them. That's what this is. It's a protection. Okay, this has been inverted and perverted to that. Okay, so now whenever you see this, I'm sure you've seen this before on Baphomet, on Jesus. Sometimes it's like this, but it's usually like this. What is this? Okay, this, they say it's as above, so below. But what it actually is it's an ancient Kemetic peace sign. Now, Chem goes back to Egypt. Okay, this was the original peace sign. So whenever you see Baphomet or Jesus or Buddha or any of them doing this, this is a peace sign. This, when you see this, is V for victory. It's a British war sign. The fingers are separate. Churchill used to do this all the time. That's what this is. So this is actually not planning peace on someone. This is. Okay, so for all the talk that people are doing this or ancients are doing this is actually a peace sign. Okay. Now we could talk about the upside down cross. The upside down cross, which was people say was co-opted by the Satanists. Okay. Satanism isn't exactly what you think it is, and we'll get into that. But basically, the upside down cross is actually a symbol of veneration. It's St. Peter was crucified upside down. Well, as the story goes, okay? St. Peter was crucified upside down because he didn't feel he was in the right way to be crucified as the same as Jesus. Okay, so that's where that comes from. And then they just invert the cross, and suddenly it's satanic, and nothing could be further than the truth. Okay, well, now what about the swastika? The swastika, okay, is they found a swastika that's 17,000 years old in Ukraine. It looks like it's on a baby rattle that's carved into it. That's how old it is. Okay. Now the swastika has been converted, perverted, inverted by the Nazis. Okay. But it's not that. And all they really did was they kind of flipped and mirrored the image. Okay. So the original image of the swastika, okay, goes back to a bunch of different places. And where does that come from? Okay. Well, if you were to take a picture of the Big Dipper on the solstices and the equinoxes, those 4 days around the Northern Star, and you put the picture together, it would form a swastika. So it's just astrotheology, guys. Finally, lastly, we have Lucifer, morning star, and Satan. Okay. Now, Satan is not actually a character. In fact, in the earliest pictures of Satan drawn in the 900s, he was actually blue. Hence, we get the Duke Blue Devils. Okay. He wasn't actually red with a pitchfork and a tail. But Satan isn't real. The word in Hebrew is Hashatan. Hashatan literally means adversary. Okay, so two opposing sports teams are literally just Satans to one another. So that's all it is. It's been inverted and perverted again to be made something well beyond what it is. And as far as Lucifer goes, Lucifer is known as the morning star. Okay, he's the light bearer. He's the light bringer. Okay, in Genesis 1:3, God says, "Let there be light." Well, how's there going to be light without the light bringer? That's his job. So Lucifer is immediately mentioned in the Bible, if not by name, by action. Okay, and he's known as the morning star. Well, what is the morning star? The morning star is Venus. Okay, and what is the morning star? Okay, it's Venus. Venus If you go outside and you look at the sun as it's rising every morning, there's a bright light above it. It's Venus. Venus will always announce the arrival of God's sun in the morning. Okay. Now, keeping with Lucifer as Venus, okay, excuse me, if you take let's say a picture of the Earth and Venus's rotation around the sun in a year's period, okay, they almost connect at 5 points. You just connect those 5 points, you get your pentagram. That's where Lucifer's pentagram comes from. So all this stuff comes from good places. It's been perverted, inverted. I'm tired of people worried about it or arguing about Satan and Lucifer and the last days, and this has been Lucifer's plan and Satan's plan. It's nonsense. You got to know your history, guys. You got to know where this stuff comes from. It's important, because these evil symbols that they use, okay, this shit that they do, it can't affect you if you don't let it. Okay, so that's basically that, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So thank you, and next we'll do the Quran.